Let's bring in Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform president. He joins me now. Grover, I mean, this is harder for Trump than Reagan, right? I mean, what should Trump do to build a bipartisan coalition? The messaging needs to get done, right, Grover? I mean, the Democrats are killing. The Democrat policies killing the middle class.
They are, and if the Democrats cared, they'd stop it, but they don't. The Democratic Party's moved significantly to the left from when Ted Kennedy and Tip O'Neill and Ross Stankowski were in Congress. The new set of leadership is way to the left, and the Republicans have moved towards where Reagan was. There used to be Republicans sort of to the left of Reagan, but most Republicans in the House and Senate are Reagan Republicans now. The Democrats have gone way to the left of where Ted Kennedy and others were.
But they're lying about it, and the Democrats are lying about it, and they are misleading the American people. Reagan didn't have to deal with the lies that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi are saying now about tax cuts.
Well, there was a fair amount of opposition before Reagan won.
But we're talking hyperbole right now that's pouring out of the Democrats. Let's show it right now. Democrats like President Obama and Elizabeth Warren say, Americans, you're not responsible for your own success. The government did it for you. Watch.
Yeah.
If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet.
I hear all this, well, this is class warfare, this is whatever. No, there is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody. You built a factory out there, good for you, but I want to be clear, you moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for.
Do you hear how insane and nuts that is? What would Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Larry Ellison, Howard Schultz of Starbucks say? Really, taxes are so high because you, Elizabeth Warren, you, Obama, you created, government creates success?
Well, Elizabeth Warren has all those same roads, and she hasn't built anything. So I think it actually does matter if somebody's an entrepreneur, not just that there are roads out there. The tax proposal that President Trump has put forward will pass within the next 2.5 months. It's going to spend a month in the House, a month in the Senate, and then be finished up in December, going into House and Senate negotiations. The central issues are agreed to. They're going to take the corporate rate from 35 down to 20. They're going to take the taxes on subchapter S corporations from as high as 40 down to 25. I met with Vice President Pence today, and he said those are hard numbers. Those are not negotiable numbers. It's going to be 20% and no higher for corporate income tax, and 25% and no higher for subchapter S corporations, smaller businesses. And you do those two things, we will create millions of new jobs. We'll turn the economy around. We've been growing at 2% a year under Obama, which is half of the Reagan recovery, 4%. We can get towards 4%. I think we can get to 4%. They're going to get rid of the death tax.
Will the Democrats go for it? I mean, yes, the death tax is immoral.
There will be no Democrat votes for tax reform. Now, after the Republicans pass it and put 51 votes in the Senate up on the board, there may be a few Democrats who don't want to lose the next election in 2018 who vote for it. But if their vote is needed, they will not vote for it, which is why there's no negotiating with the Democrats, because it's not, we don't need their votes. We're not going to get their votes. Nice if they do at the end of the day. But remember, 45 of the 48 Democrats sent an insulting letter to the Republicans saying, we'd love to talk to you about tax reform, but one, it can't be a tax cut. No tax cut. And two, no tax cuts for everybody. Just we're going to treat people separately. We don't want to treat everybody the same. And thirdly, we want to do it with 60 votes, not 51, which means you'd need 8 Democrats. So their letter was a screw you, Graham, and telling you only 3 people.
It's about messaging. Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, they need to say, you Democrats, you are creating income inequality. You are killing the middle class. Jobs stops income inequality. The best form of welfare is a job. That's what Kennedy said. Get the messaging right. Go ahead. Final word, Grover.
I'm agreeing with you, and I think that's what Trump did in his entire presidential race. Jobs. And that's why this bill is going to pass, and the Democrats are going to spend 3 months trashing the small business community with their attacks on
Hammer the little guy again. What a winning message. Thank you, Grover Norquist. Really appreciate it. Thanks.